If out of 5 sons, only one embraced his father with love, while the others treated him only as a burden, will fate deal equally with them all, or will only the one blessed by his father's prayer rise as a king in this world? There was a small village near the city of Darussalam, where an old man named Salim was spending the last days of his life. He was a quiet, humble man. Salim had 5 sons. The eldest son, Rashid, was a farmer. He spent his days plowing the fields and tending to crops. Though he cared for his father, there were times when he felt tired and burdened. Often he wondered silently when this responsibility would end. Each evening, when Rashid returned home exhausted, his old father would silently watch him, sensing his pain without saying a word. Salim deeply loved his son, but he kept his feelings hidden behind a quiet gaze. With time, Salim began to notice a change in Rashid's attitude. He could feel that Rashid now saw him as a burden. This silent indifference slowly began to weigh on Salim's heart. One day, Salim called Rashid close and said, "My son, I understand you're tired. Don't worry, I'll only be with you for a few more days. I'll go stay with your brother. You focus on your work and life." Rashid remained silent. A touch of coldness flickered in his heart, but no harsh words came to his lips. A few days later, Salim left Rashid's house and went to live with his second son, Bashir, a renowned lawyer. Bashir had wealth in abundance, but his attitude was lacking warmth. His wife paid no attention to the old man and never even spoke to him. Salim sat in silence all day, bearing the sorrow of his son's fading love without ever voicing his pain. One day, influenced by his wife, Bashir said, "Father, why don't you help me at the office? Maybe assist with paperwork. That way, I can benefit from your presence." Salim said nothing. His frail hands, bent back, and worn-out body were proof enough that he could no longer work. But he didn't complain, knowing his son saw him as a duty, not out of love. At night, Salim's coughing and restlessness became an annoyance. One evening, Bashir said, "Father, perhaps you'd be more comfortable living with one of your other sons. I'll even pay for your treatment." Those words cut deep. They were not spoken with affection, but as a solution to a problem. Salim felt like an unwanted guest, just a responsibility. He quietly left and went to his third son, Kamran, a dedicated school teacher. Kamran respected his father, but his life was busy. He spent his days in the classroom and his evenings grading papers or helping students. He never noticed his father's declining health or the sadness behind his silence. In the mornings, Kamran's wife would tell the children to sit and play with their grandfather so she could finish her chores. Watching this, Salim felt deeply alone. His condition worsened, and soon he left Kamran's house too. This time, he headed to his fourth son, Sufyan, an ambitious real estate agent. Sufyan welcomed his father with a big smile, but only because he hoped his father had wealth. But when he discovered that Salim had nothing, his behavior changed. His wife considered Salim a nuisance and treated him poorly. Sufyan, absorbed in sales calls and property deals, ignored his father completely. One day, he told Salim bluntly, "Father, I don't have time to care for you. You'll have to go somewhere else." With a broken heart, Salim went to the home of his youngest son, Yasser, a humble herbal doctor. Yasser worked as a daily laborer and used his earnings to buy medicine for his father. Yasser's wife was kind and served her father-in-law with genuine love and respect. She understood his age and illness and cared for him like her own parents. Salim finally found peace in their home. As their love for him grew, his heart healed, and he began to pray for them constantly. Days passed, and Salim's life regained meaning in Yasser's house. But the final days soon arrived. Salim fell gravely ill. Yasser was heartbroken. He never saw his father as a burden, but as a blessing. He cared for him day and night. One day, Salim called Yasser close and said gently, "My son, the end is near. My breaths are now limited. May God bless you for the love you've shown me." Yasser replied tearfully, "Father, don't leave us. How will we live without you?" Salim smiled softly. "My son, this is the path of truth. Everything must return to its creator." Yasser asked, "Father, are you pleased with me? I wish I could have done more for you. My wife too. If ever we failed, please forgive us." Taking a deep breath, Salim said, "There is one final thing I want to share with you. It is a great treasure. I tested all 5 of my sons, but only you passed the test. After I die, go to a man named Sharifuddin in Darussalam. Tell him that Salim has passed away. He will give you a treasure I entrusted to him long ago." Salim placed his hand on Yasser's shoulder and added, "This treasure is for you. Use it to build a better life for your wife and children. And remember, do not share it with the others. It is my last gift to you." Shortly after, Salim passed away. Yasser was overwhelmed with grief. His wife wept as well, for she had truly cared for Salim with all her heart. Yasser gathered himself and informed his brothers of their father's passing. The same brothers who once saw Salim as a burden now came to attend the funeral. After the burial, Yasser said, "Father left a treasure for me, but I believe you all have a right to it." The brothers, driven by greed, replied. When Yasser opened it, he was shocked. Inside were ownership papers of expensive shops in the central market, his mother's jewelry, and many gold coins. Yasser, honest as always, divided the treasure equally among all brothers and kept only his share. Time passed, but soon misfortune struck. One brother's business collapsed, another was caught stealing and ended up in prison. A third touched his gold, and it turned to dust. All faced loss except Yasser. Yasser started a small fabric business in Darussalam. He would import quality cloth from Kufa and sell it in the city. His honesty, hard work, and father's prayers turned him into a prosperous merchant. Eventually, he bought the entire market and built a grand home for his family. Despite his success, Yasser never forgot his father's words. One day, he visited Salim's grave and stood there silently. "Father," he whispered, "your prayers made me a king in this city, but your absence still makes my heart ache. May God grant you the highest place in paradise."